You are watching our 2022 In Review program, which will bring you to look back to various events which have taken place during 2022. There are a lot of happenings during this year. Some are related to our success in managing our economy and in promoting our democracy, as well as in coping with the COVID-19 pandemic. But there are also sad stories about natural disasters which have claimed many lives. This year-end review will also present summaries of news about our unique culture and characteristics of some regions in Indonesia. For the next 60 minutes, I, Fmcbg, will accompany you to witness again important events in the country during 2022. Let's watch the first segment of our 2022 domestic year-end review. The number of new COVID-19 cases remained high during the first quarter, although there was a sign of declining. During the period, the government worked extra hard to halt the transmission of the disease. In addition to health issues, various natural disasters such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions had also hit a number of regions in the country during the year. The most recent one was the Cianjur earthquake. Besides health issues, there were also many incidents which claimed hundreds of lives, such as the deadly soccer stampede at the Kanjuruhan Soccer Stadium in Malang, East Java. Here are the summaries of the stories.
President Joko Widodo at Merdeka Bali said the third dose of vaccine was given for free to all. The administration of the third dose began January 12th with elderly and vulnerable groups as first priority. The government administered the third dose to increase people's immunity from exposure to coronavirus. The third dose was given in accordance with terms and conditions required by vaccine recipient. Data of the COVID-19 task force detected patients with Omicron in Jakarta until January 4th stood at 252 cases, an additional 90 cases from the previous number of 162. A number of studies, including from the World Health Organization, said Omicron is more transmissible with lighter symptoms. On Tuesday, January 18th, at Bogor Presidential Palace, President Jokowi called public to remain cautious and heed to health protocols. The head of state called the public to complete the set of COVID-19 vaccinations as protection. Via video conference from Sultan Haji Muhammad Sulaiman International Airport, Balikpapan, East Kalimantan on Monday, January 31st, President Joko Widodo delivered 4 instructions on the evaluation of PPKM. The 4 instructions are: use different approaches responding to the rising number of COVID cases, especially Omicron variant. Prevention on local transmission in the country. Reminded the importance of discipline and tightening security at entrance gates in quarantine of travelers from overseas based on the set regulations. Instructing a more faster distribution of vaccinations across the country. Businessman and founder of Fmcbg Arifin Panigoro passed away February 27th at 76. He died while treated at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. The remains of the late Arifin Panigoro was buried on Tuesday, March 8 at 11 a.m. in Jakarta. The state funeral was witnessed by extended families, colleagues, public figures, and also by fellow medical group employees. As COVID cases in Indonesia eased, President Joko Widodo on Wednesday, 23rd of March said the government decided to ease restrictions relating to overseas travelers as they no longer needed to undergo quarantine, as showing negative PCR tests were required instead. Idul Fitri travel or mudik was also permitted. At a press conference in Bogor Tuesday, May 17th, President Joko Widodo decided to ease restrictions on wearing masks outdoors following the decreasing trend of COVID cases across the country. Elderlies, those prone to the virus and have comorbids, the president still advised to wear masks outdoors. Not only easing restriction in mask wearing, the government also loosened regulation on PCR or antigen test only applied for travelers who have been vaccinated with complete COVID vaccines. Muslim cleric and former chief of PP Muhammadiyah, Professor Dr. H. Ahmad Shafi'i Ma'arif or Buya Shafi'i Ma'arif, died on Friday, May 27th at 10:15 a.m. local time at PK Muhammadiyah Hospital in Gamping, Sleman, Yogyakarta. Before passing, Buya Shafi'i had been treated at the same hospital for deteriorating heart conditions. President Joko Widodo attended the funeral procession of the late Buya Shafi'i Ma'arif and paid his last respect. The foot and mouth disease case in Indonesia on July the 7th reached 317,889 cases spread in 21 provinces across Indonesia. Government spokesman for FMD handling, Professor Wiku Adhisasmito, said several precautions were made to prevent the disease impacting the economy and food distribution for cattle nationally. Vaccination on cattle were given on July. The first vaccination program for cattle for the first stage had 800,000 dosage and 315,539 dosage had been injected. National Police Chief General Listio Sigit Prabowo announced Inspector General Ferdi Sambo as suspect in the death of Brigadier Nofriansyah Yosua Huta Barat at a press conference on August the 9th. In the murder case, Yosua Huta Barat was shot several times by Sambo and Richard Elizar. Sambo gave the orders for the shooting that took place at his official residence in Jakarta on July the 8th. Sambo was dishonorably discharged by Police's Code of Ethics Commission for committing premeditated murder of Brigadier Joshua, considered serious violation of the Police Professional Code of Ethics on August 25th and 26th. At least 125 killed, 180 injured in a stampede and riot at a soccer match on October the 1st at Kanjuruhan Stadium. President Joko Widodo ordered National Football Association to suspend all games in the Indonesian top league BRI Liga 1 until investigation completed. President Joko Widodo launched Bio Farma-made Indovac vaccine at PT Bio Farma, Bandung, October 13th. The president hoped Bio Farma helps Indonesia to be independent in terms of vaccine production, adding Indovac is a result of hard work of the country's finest human resources. South Jakarta District Court held first trial of Ferdi Sambo and his associates on October 17th. The hearing agenda was reading of responses by public prosecutors over the exception, and pleading was delivered by Ferdi Sambo's counsel. Public prosecutor indicted Sambo with 2 charges: premeditated murder and obstruction of justice or ICE law. The 4 defendants presented in the first trial were Ferdi Sambo, Putri Chandrawati, Ricky Rizal and Kuat Maruf. Indonesian Pediatric Society reported as of Tuesday, October 18th, 192 children suffered from the mysterious acute kidney failure spread across 20 provinces, including in Jakarta, West Java and all the way to Aceh. The case was first detected at the start of 2022, but sharp rise of the case started since August and reached its peak in September. At a cabinet meeting, President Joko Widodo delivered 4 points relating to the case of drugs that have been causing kidney failures on children. The 4 points were: public health is priority, BPOM agency to revoke distribution of syrup drugs proven to cause kidney failure, Health Ministry explore on leading factors causing kidney failure from drugs and other potential triggers, provide health services, especially for kidney failure case. Bambang Subianto, former Minister of Finance, passed away at the age of 77. Bambang was active in developing legal regulations such as stock market law in 1995, non-tax state revenue law in 1997. Bambang Subianto's most achievements as finance minister was embracing monopoly practice and bank recapitalization. A 5.6 magnitude quake struck Cianjur, West Java on November the 21st at 1:21 p.m. local time. The death toll as of Wednesday, December the 7th, according to Fmcbg, remains stagnant at 334 dead, 8 missing. The emergency response period ended December the 20th. The government will build 1,800 earthquake-resistant houses for residents in areas worst hit by the November 21st earthquake that killed more than 300, and compensation on damaged houses will also be distributed to residents. President Joko Widodo visited one of the most badly damaged areas in Cianjur, assuring people that evacuation would be top priority. The head of state expressed condolences over those who died as a result of the disaster. The government directed construction of anti-earthquake houses at locations prone to quakes in Cianjur. President Joko instructed to prioritize evacuating victims. President Joko Widodo received his second booster shot on November the 24th and called on the public to also do the same as precautions towards COVID-19. President Joko Widodo was vaccinated with Indovac. Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin said the Indonesian-made Indovac vaccine has been proven to prevent COVID transmission. A 6.1 magnitude quake, earlier reported to measure 6.4 in magnitude before the reading revised by Fmcbg, occurred at 4:49 p.m. local time and felt in several regions of West and Central Java. Epicenter of the quake was located west of Mekar Mukti of Garut at a depth of 109 kilometers. The moderate quake was caused by activities in the Indo-Australia tectonic plate. Semeru volcano in East Java erupted early Sunday, 4th December, spewing column of ash 1.5 kilometers into the air. The eruption happened a year after the volcano erupted on December 4, 2021, that killed 48. Authorities issued level 4 alert due to the eruption, the highest alert level possible. 1,979 have been evacuated to safe areas after the increasing hot clouds avalanches from Semeru volcano. 6.2 magnitude quake that struck 233 kilometers south of Jember, East Java on Tuesday did not cause damage in Malang, Regional Disaster Mitigation Agency or BPBD said. The quake was recorded south of Jember, East Java and 10 kilometers beneath surface at 1:07 p.m. local time on Tuesday. Epicenter of the quake was located at 10.70 degrees south latitude, 113.38 degrees east longitude. Based on Fmcbg's modeling, the quake was centered underwater and did not trigger tsunami. A suicide bomber blew himself on Wednesday, December the 7th at the Astana Anyar police station in Bandung, West Java, killing a police officer, Second Inspector Sopian, and injured 10 others. The bomber, identified as Agus Suyatno, entered the Astana Anyar police station with a motorcycle at around 8:20 a.m. during a morning roll call. The man then blew himself up as police were lining up for a morning assembly. Fmcbg agency updated the magnitude 5.0 quake that happened in Sukabumi, West Java early morning of December the 8th. The quake epicenter was 22 kilometers southeast Sukabumi at 104 kilometers under the ground, with tremors felt in a number of areas with different intensity, such as Bogor, Sumedang, Bekasi, Tangerang, and Jakarta. The agency announced the quake did not trigger a tsunami, as at 9 a.m. local time, no damage or casualty were reported from the quake. A coal mine owned by PT Nusa Alam Lestari in Sawah Lunto, West Sumatra exploded Friday morning, December the 9th, and killed 10. The explosion occurred at 8:30 a.m. when workers had just started mining activities. 6 people were reportedly trapped in the hole at a depth of 200 meters. 14 people were affected in the explosion. 10 of them died. 1 suffered 30% burns, 1 suffered mild injuries, and 2 survived.
The government has implemented a number of programs to further spur the economic growth, such as to attract more foreign investors to do business in Indonesia. In addition, the government has also accelerated the developments of infrastructure projects, such as toll roads and power plants, to support economic activities. Some are still under construction this year, and some others have been inaugurated by President Joko Widodo. Besides building new roads and power plants, the government has also introduced a number of economic policy during the year. For example, in September, the prices of subsidized fuel were to reduce the state budget deficit. Apart from that, there was also a lively discussion regarding the prospect of the Indonesian economy this year amid the rising concern over the growing risk of global recession. In addition to such economic policy and programs, Bank Indonesia's plan to introduce digital currency will also highlight our year-end review in the economic sector. Let's watch on the following segment. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani inspected the progress of the development of the new capital city, Nusantara, in Sepaku, Penajam Pasir Utara, East Kalimantan on January 6th. During the visit, the minister warned that the development of the new capital city should pay attention to the environment so that it would not damage forests and biodiversity, including animals. The financing should be carefully prepared so that the development of the new capital city would not cause a problem to the state finance. President Joko Widodo inspected the progress of the construction of the Tunnel 2, which would be used for the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train on Monday, January 17th. The construction of the Tunnel 2, located in Purwakarta Regency, West Java, has been hampered by technical problems due to the condition of the soil, which is so soft and fragile. During the President's visit, the development of the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed train had been 80% completed. It was hoped that the trial operation will be carried out at the end of 2022, and the commercial operation will begin in June 2023. President Jokowi attended the World Economic Forum virtually at the Presidential Palace in Bogor, West Java on January 20th. In his address, the President explained Indonesia's three main strategies in promoting green economy. First, through low-carbon development as stipulated in the National Medium-Term Development Plan for 2020 to 2024. Secondly, issuing the Net Zero Emissions Policy, which sets net zero emission target by 2060, including net sinks in the forestry sector and land in 2030. Thirdly, providing a number of financial stimulus to promote the green economy. President Joko Widodo officially inaugurated 7 ferry ports and 4 boat ports in a number of tourist areas in Toba Regency, North Sumatra on Wednesday, February 2nd. President hoped the operation of the new ferry ports would be able to promote tourism in Toba Lake, one of the new icons of the country's tourist destinations. In addition to promoting tourism, the ports are also expected to be able to support the local residents' daily activities. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani and Bank Indonesia Governor Ferry Warjio officially opened the first meeting of the finance ministers and central bank governors of the G20 member countries on Thursday, February 17th in Jakarta. In her remarks, Sri Mulyani said Indonesia assumed G20 presidency amid the challenging situation in the world economy. She hoped G20 member countries would be able to play a key role in supporting the global economic recovery. Indonesia's 2022 state budget showed an encouraging development in March. After working hard for almost 2 years in coping with the COVID-19 pandemic and to revive the economy, the state budget showed an encouraging sign of improvement. As of the end of March 2022, the state budget booked a surplus of 10.3 trillion rupiah, or about $660.13 million. Deputy Finance Minister Suhazil Nazara said in Palembang on March 18th that not all goods and services were subject to value-added tax. According to him, some of goods and services, health services, educational services, and several other types of services are exempt from value-added tax. The exemption is needed so that the middle and low-income people from paying VAT on such basic necessities. The government announced on April 1st the distribution of cooking oil cash assistance program for the poor people amid the surge in cooking oil prices. The cash assistance, worth 100,000 rupiah monthly for each family, was given for the 3 months, namely May, June, and July. The recipients consisted of 20.5 million families, included in the list of non-cash food assistance, or BPNT, and Family Hope Program, or PKH recipients, as well as 2.5 million street vendors selling fried food. President Joko Widodo officially inaugurated Brebes-Tegal Ring Road in Kaligangsa, Brebes Regency, Central Java on Wednesday, April 3rd. The opening of the 17.4-kilometer ring road further expands the national road network in the northern part of Java, or Pantura, and the Trans-Java Toll Road network. The operation of the new ring road can reduce the traffic at the Pantura by 48%. In addition, the new ring road also improved the traffic between Tegal and Brebes. President Joko Widodo inaugurated Trunojoyo Airport in Sumeneb Regency during his working visit to East Java Province on Wednesday, April 20th. In his address, the president hoped the airport would improve public transportation in Madura Island and other islands around Madura. In addition, the airport was also expected to improve connectivity to remote areas around Madura Island. The G20 finance ministers and central bank governors ended their second meeting under the Indonesian presidency on Wednesday, April 20th. The meeting held in Washington, D.C., discussed results of the finance ministers and the central bank governors meeting in February 2022 in Jakarta. During the press conference after the meeting, Finance Minister Sri Mulyani said the meeting underlined crucial role of G20 as one of the main forums for international economic cooperation to deal with the current multifaceted and complex global economic challenges. The government announced the removal of the cooking oil export ban starting May 23rd. The decision was made by the government considering the current supply and prices of cooking oil, as well as the condition of workers and farmers in the palm oil industry. Although the export will immediately be reopened, the president emphasized that the government will continue to strictly supervise and monitor the market to ensure the adequate supply is being met with affordable prices in all over Indonesia. The G20's third finance ministers and central bank governors, or Fmcbg meeting, was held in Nusa Duabari on July 15th. The Fmcbg meeting was conducted over 2 days, preceded by the Hybrid Finance and Central Bank Deputies, or FCBD meeting, on 13 to 14 July at the same venue. The G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting aimed to stimulate the global economy to recover together amid various emerging challenges. President Joko Widodo officially submitted the draft 2023 state budget to the House of Representatives, or DPR, during a plenary meeting on August 16th. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati said that the state revenues in the 2023 state budget was projected to increase to 2,443.6 trillion rupiah from 2,436.9 trillion rupiah this year due to the expected increase in tax revenues to 2,016.9 trillion rupiah and non-tax state revenue, or PNBP, to 426.3 trillion rupiah. She estimated 2023 tax revenues would increase by 4.8%. On August 23rd, Bank Indonesia, or BI, raised all its key interest rates for the first time since 2018 to anticipate rising core prices amid rising concern that the headline inflation could exceed 5% this year. The BI Board of Governors raised its benchmark 7-day reverse repo rate by 25 basis points, or BPS, to 3.75%. President Jokowi Widodo officially launched the Domestic Government Credit Card, or KKP, and International QRIS, Quick Response Indonesia Standard Payment System, at a ceremony held on August 29th. The International QRIS and KKP payment systems enable the purchase of goods and services at the central and regional government levels, with all of its processes done domestically. The President appreciated Bank Indonesia's initiative in implementing the QRIS KKP so that the government's procurement could be carried faster and more efficiently. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani Indrawati said the government would provide 3 types of social assistance, worth 24.17 trillion rupiah for the poor as the compensation from the increase in the prices of subsidies and the rise in food prices. The social assistance is expected to be able to maintain the purchasing power of people affected by price spikes that have occurred globally. Each recipient will receive cash aid of 150,000 rupiah per month for 4 months, so that in total they will receive cash aid as much as 600,000 rupiah or about $40. The government finally decided to raise prices of subsidized and non-subsidized fuels beginning Saturday, September 3rd, as part of its programs to reduce the deficit in the state budget. The price of subsidized pertalite was raised to 10,000 rupiah per liter from 7,650 rupiah, and the price of subsidized diesel fuel was raised to 6,800 rupiah per liter from 5,150 rupiah per liter. Meanwhile, the price of non-subsidized gasoline Pertamax was raised to 14,500 rupiah per liter from 12,500 rupiah per liter. On September 11th, Statistics Indonesia or BPS reported that the Indonesian economy grew 5.72% year-on-year in the third quarter. The GDP growth exceeded the 5.44% growth rate recorded in the second quarter and 5.01% in the first quarter. Indonesia's G20 presidency this year has made history through the raise of Financial Intermediary Fund or FIF of about $1.4 billion to ensure the adequacy and sustainability of financing for future pandemic prevention and response. The funds, which will be managed by the World Bank, was announced during the 4th Finance Ministers' Central Bank Governors or Fmcbg Meeting, which was held on 12 to 13th October 2022 in Washington, D.C., United States of America. Statistics Indonesia or BPS reported that Indonesia's inflation rate in September accelerated to its highest since October 2015 due to higher transportation costs following a fuel price hike, Statistic Bureau data showed on Monday. President Joko Widodo and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping witnessed the operational trial of a China-made high-speed train on Wednesday, November 16th. The two leaders watched a live stream of the trial for the Jakarta-Bandung train at the end of the group of the G20 Leader Summit in Bali, where they also held bilateral talks. When the high-speed rail starts operations in June next year, it will be the fastest train in Southeast Asia and also Indonesia's first fast train rail link. Bank Indonesia on Wednesday, November 30th, unveiled plans for a digital rupiah currency that will use blockchain technology as the country sees a boom in digital transactions. The move follows that of many central banks around the world that are developing so-called central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, either in the form of retail tokens to be used directly by consumers or wholesale tokens to be used by banks within the financial system. Indonesia has successfully organized the G20 Leader Summit, which took place on the resort island of Bali on November 15 and 16, 2022. Immediately after the conclusion of the world's leaders gathering, Indonesian President Joko Widodo handed over the G20 presidency to India. Despite the global tension caused by the Russian invasion into Ukraine, the G20 Leader Summit successfully issued G20's Bali Declaration, which contains 52 points of agreements on various aspects, ranging from efforts to cope with future pandemic to the handling of economic crisis and geopolitical conflicts. The G20 Leader Summit in Bali was considered the largest G20 gathering ever and was not only attended by the leaders of its members, but also leaders of small countries and international organizations. As part of its participation in international affairs, Indonesia was also actively involved in international humanitarian programs. Indonesia, for example, sent humanitarian aid to Afghanistan to help ease an unraveling humanitarian crisis in the conflict-ridden country. Besides Afghanistan, Indonesia also sent humanitarian aid to Pakistan, Ukraine, and Cambodia. In our next segment, we will also bring you to look back to activities and events related to politics, especially related to the preparation of the general elections in February 2024 to elect new president and vice president, members of the House of Representatives and regional legislatives. Well, let's watch important events related to government's programs and political activities during the year. Indonesia sent humanitarian aid to Afghanistan on Sunday, January 9th, to help more than 23 million Afghan people who are starving due to malnutrition. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi said Indonesia shipped the aid in 2 planes, and in the long term, Indonesia planned to send education and human resources assistance, especially for Afghan women. President Joko Widodo met Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong at the Sancaya Resort Bintan, Kabupaten Bintan in Riau Province on Tuesday, January 25th. Both leaders signed 3 Memorandum of Understanding, or MOA, the Extradition Treaty, Flight Information Region, and Defense Cooperation.
Rekan-rekan, pada siang hari ini, saya ingin memberikan beberapa update.
Indonesia's Foreign Affairs Minister Retno LP Marsudi said during a press briefing on Tuesday, March 1st, that Indonesia had evacuated 99 Indonesians from Ukraine after Russian-Ukraine war broke out in February. The evacuation process would be done in stages, Minister Retno Marsudi said.
Komunikasi juga dilakukan dengan otoritas Ukraina, Rusia, dan ICRC, terutama untuk memintakan safe passage.
Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi welcomed 80 Indonesians and 3 foreign citizens at the Soekarno-Hatta International Airport in Banten on March 3rd, 2022. They were among Indonesians who had been evacuated from Ukraine after Russian-Ukraine war broke out the previous months.
Yang telah bahu-membahu bekerja sama.
Indonesia's President Joko Widodo met with delegation of the United Arab Emirates, or UAE, at Presidential Palace in Bogor on Monday, March 7th, 2022. The UAE delegation announced their commitment to develop Indonesia's new capital city of Nusantara in Penajam, Kalimantan. Apart from this, the UAE delegation also discussed their plan to invest in Indonesian Investment Authority, the sovereign wealth fund of Indonesia.
Dan saya juga sampaikan terima kasih atas kerjasama dan kesabaran teman-teman WNI 9 WNI.
Indonesia's Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi said that the government had evacuated 9 Indonesians as of March 18, 2022, after they have been trapped in a plastic plant in Chernihiv, Ukraine, as the impact of the Russian-Ukraine war. Minister Retno said the team took 22 days to evacuate them.
Namun teman-teman, 9 orang yang ada di Chernihiv tidak dapat menjangkau ke Kiev, ya, sehingga mereka terjebak hingga
President Joko Widodo inspected Garuda Wisnu Kencana Cultural Park in Badung Regency in Bali on Friday, March 25th, as part of the preparation for the G20 Summit in Nusa Duabari. Heads of states and participants attending the G20 Summit in Bali would dine at GWK Park. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi, President Director of GWK Haryanto Tirto Hadiguno, welcomed President Jokowi at the park. Indonesia's Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi met with Foreign Affairs Minister of Canada, Melanie Joly, at Gedung Pancasila at Foreign Ministry compound on April 11, 2022. Minister Retno said that Indonesia and Canada have agreed to intensify economic cooperation, especially on trade, investment, and energy transition. Marsudi and Joly signed the Indonesia-Canada Plan of Action for the 2022-2025 period that would serve as guidance for both countries to navigate the cooperation in the next 4 years. President Joko Widodo said the general election would be held in February 2024, quashing rumors for the polls to be delayed. President Jokowi announced the date after holding a limited cabinet meeting at Bogor Presidential Palace on Sunday, April 10th. President Jokowi asked Coordinating Minister for Political and Security Affairs Mahfud MD to prepare for the legal ground for the general election.
Bahwa seluruh tahapan dan jadwal pelaksanaan pemilu dan pilkada serentak itu sudah ditetapkan.
To mark the 67th anniversary of Asia-Africa Conference, or KAA, the committee raised 109 flags of KAA member countries and the UN flag at KAA Museum in Bandung on Monday, April 18th. The flags were lowered down on April 24th. President Joko Widodo met with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese at the Bogor Palace, West Java on Monday, June 6th. President Jokowi invited the Australian Prime Minister to plant a tree together in the Bogor Palace's court before proceeding with a bilateral meeting, focusing on boosting bilateral interests, strong cooperation between both nations, and to maintain regional and global peace and prosperity. President Joko Widodo and First Lady Iriana welcomed President Marcos and First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos at Bogor Palace on Monday, September 5th. 4 memoranda of understandings were signed, First, on plan of action for bilateral cooperation of Indonesia and the Philippines in 2022 to 2027. Second, an agreement on cooperative activities in the field of defense and security. Third, on cultural cooperation. And fourth, cooperation in the development and promotion of creative economy. Indonesian police chief and regional police chiefs across Indonesia were summoned at the Merdeka State Palace in Jakarta on Friday, October 14th. President Joko Widodo asked police to remain solid and continue to enforce law and protect the people amidst their deteriorating image in the public.
Jajaran TNI, jajaran pemerintah dan seluruh komponen masyarakat dalam menangani.
President Joko Widodo said Nusantara Capital City, or IKN, was Indonesia's new civilization era. The Nusantara Capital City will be built with a future smart city concept. The new capital city holds a productive work ethics and will be equipped with good corporate governance and management and sophisticated technology.
Selamat datang di masa depan Indonesia. Sudah berkali-kali saya sampaikan.
President Joko Widodo met with Prime Minister of Palestine, Mohammad I.M. Shtayeh, at Presidential Palace in Bogor on Monday, October 20th. After the meeting, President Jokowi announced Indonesia's commitment to help Palestine gain its independence. One week ahead of the G20 Summit in Nusa Duabari, President made a final inspection on the venue of the summit on Monday, November 7th. President Jokowi departed from Halim Perdana Kusuma Airport, and upon arrival at Ngurah Rai International Airport, President Jokowi inspected the VVIP room at the airport. President Joko Widodo held a bilateral meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden at Fmcbg Bali on Monday, November 14th. President Jokowi extended greatest appreciation to President Joe Biden for his presence at the G20 Summit. President Jokowi also said all members of G20 group will be committed to implement results of the G20 Declaration in Bali. The G20 Summit was held in Nusa Dua, Bali on November 15th to 16th. The theme of Indonesia's G20 presidency, Recover Together, Recover Stronger, with three focus on global health architecture, sustainable energy transition, and digital economy transformation. President Joko Widodo asked the General Election Committee, or KPU, to hold fair and transparent general election in February 2024. President made the call after attending the consolidation meeting at Ancol Beach City, Jakarta on Friday, December 2nd. President Jokowi asked the Commission, or KPU, to manage efficient general election in the next 2 years.
Semoga Tuhan memberkati kita semuanya. Om Santi 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 Om.
Cultural and tourism activities have started to revive again in 2022 after almost coming to standstill for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A number of major tourism events, such as the Sail Tidore 2022 Sailing Festival, was held again this year, marking the revival of the tourism industry in the country. Such tourism events have successfully lured back foreign tourists back into the country. Many tourism destinations have also been back to life after almost a 2-year hiatus. One of the most interesting events took place when President Joko Widodo continued his tradition of wearing regional attire while delivering his annual state address on August 16th. Let's watch some of our collections of cultural and tourism events during 2022. President Joko Widodo presented Indonesia's Award of Honor to 127 distinguished recipients in a ceremony to commemorate 77th Indonesia's Independence Day at the State Palace in Jakarta on Friday, August 12th. The ceremony was attended by 7 recipients and representatives of others. President Joko Widodo delivered the State of Nation address at the Parliament building on Tuesday, August 16, wearing the Paksian traditional attire from Bangka Belitung. The green color symbolizes philosophy of peace, hope, and growth, while the pucuk rebung or bamboo sprout motif signifies harmony. President Joko Widodo inspected renovation progress of Taman Mini Indonesia Indah on Tuesday, August 23rd. Since its official inauguration in 1975, it has never undergone renovation. President Jokowi urged the park management to regularly hold cultural events as tourist attraction. President Joko Widodo officiated Merah Putih, or the Red and White Parade, with the theme Creating a Harmonious Unity of Indonesia, in front of Merdeka Palace in Jakarta on Sunday, August 28th. The parade was attended by 10,000 participants from all elements of the nation, from community and student organizations to the general public. After visiting SME Mart in Sofifi Subdistrict in Tidore Island on Wednesday, September 28th, President Joko Widodo expected Sofifi City in North Maluku to become a center of growth for the province after infrastructure development has been built. After its 77th anniversary ceremony, the armed forces marched on Jakarta thoroughfares around the presidential palace on Wednesday, October 5th. The parade showed the armed forces' preparedness to face current global geopolitical challenges. The army showcased 15 types of its weaponry. The Navy paraded 8 types of its weaponry, while the Air Force showed 11. President Joko Widodo launched a virtual social interaction-based platform named Jagat Nusantara, or the Archipelagic Universe, at the Jakarta Theater Ballroom on Friday, October 28th. The Jagat Nusantara is an opportunity for participants to share knowledge and meet great people from across Indonesia and around the world. It is also a platform to introduce Indonesian products to the world. President Joko Widodo awarded title of national heroes to 5 figures from various regions who served the nation. The event coincides with the 2022 National Heroes Day on Monday, November 7th. The 5 figures are the late Dr. Suharto from Central Java, Prince Paku Alam VIII from Special Region of Yogyakarta, Dr. R. Rubini Natawisastra from West Kalimantan, Haji Salahuddin bin Talabuddin from North Maluku, and Kiai Haji Ahmad Sanusi from West Java. President Joko Widodo and United Arab Emirates President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan inaugurated Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque in Surakarta, Central Java, on Monday, November 14th. They performed Sunnah Tahiyatul Mosque prayer before signing an inscription as the official opening of the mosque. The 2022 Sail Tidore Festival with the theme The World Heritage, Addressing the Nations, was officially opened at Tugu Lufa Beach in Tidore Island in North Maluku on Saturday, November 26th. The event aimed at promoting local economy, products, and tourism potentials to the world, as well as bringing investment to Tidore. On Sunday, 4th of December, Acting Jakarta Governor Heru Budi Hartono opened the 2022 Ciliwung Rowing Festival, initiated by the Indonesian Rowing Sports Association in the hope to protect the environment. Chairman of the association said Ciliwung River is the witness of Jakarta's development and a source of raw water for Jakarta residents in the past, and must be preserved to control floods in the capital. We will soon leave year 2022 and open a new chapter in the life of the nation in coming year. We have achieved a lot of success, and there are also many unpleasant events that we must learn from. So let's enter the new year with great enthusiasm and hope for a better life. Thank you for watching our year-end review. I'm Fmcbg. Stay healthy. Goodbye and see you again.